like from my own spiritual experience, which I've shared many times here before, with the white light spiritual experience with Muji, when he asked me what I am beyond the ego. And then I latched, there was like an interest in a thought, and then the whole world appeared. And then after that, but then there was intense bliss, and everything was just beautiful and radiant. It was actually autumn, and for me it was like a summer's day. It was like, it was so bright. So, and then as I had to go to work, then I started to grab onto more thoughts. And then it was like I was back to normal. It was the ego was thinking, it was back to the same old dim world. But then it's, you know, that's what the Course in Miracles says. It's an illusion. And for me, it's like the whole world comes into existence as soon as a phenomena of interest in thoughts starts to occur. And also, when the thing with the various addictions, alcohol, food, they can take you down. You see, it's like when you're at the highest level, you're connected to the eternal stillness, peace, love, light. In fact, there is no world. And as you start latching onto thoughts, it dims the world slightly. And as you get down into various things become very interesting for the ego, certain behaviors or addictive behaviors. And because of the interest, like the Course in Miracles talks about specialness, you know, the projection of specialness onto other things. In 12 steps we call that like higher powering anything. As soon as these things occur, they create, to the extent, actually for me, the level of disconnect is correlating to the behavior or the action which is trying to get a payoff out of whatever is going on out there in the external world. So it could be, you know, like I'm a recovered food addict, but it could be like reaching for a donut. At that moment, you know, if I do that action, there can be a huge disconnect. And like was being shared before and from Hawkins' research, you tune into, it's almost like you're tuning into different radio stations. Like at the highest levels, when you're not latching onto thoughts, you know, everything is peaceful, sublime, you're enjoying the present moment. And also at the highest levels, it's like you're in a field which is life supportive. That's what we call in the fellowship, in the miracles. You know, you're in what I like to call the realm of miracles, where you know, for me it's like you know, I know when I'm in the phase of miracles because all the buses arrive on time. You know, I arrive straight at the tube platform, and the tube just opens its doors, and that goes on the whole thing. So you know that. That's obviously not the ego that's orchestrating all of that. It's like you're tuned into another realm. But then I can get disconnected. If I pick up a resentment, there's the behaviors, and then there's the behaviors, and then there's the addictions that you can pick up, and they can create various levels of disconnect. And the thing, I mean, for me, through kinesiological research, what really helped me when things don't go my way, and from Hawkins' stuff, is what was being shared before about trying to have an attitude, if my ego wants anything, to let go of the outcome. And it's like it's okay if it happens and it's okay if it doesn't happen, or to let go. So for me it's like doing the spiritual work, but letting go of the outcome. And what really helped me in terms of really helping me was that through Hawkins' research, thing of karma and past lives, because otherwise it's very, very difficult to explain, or even if that's not agreeable, to see that the spirit had some kind of, before it incarnated here, had some kind of preceding stuff, which is why it incarnated here, which is why certain things happen, but you're not sure why they happen. At least in this lifetime, it's not seeable. So that's also helped me a lot in that respect. And it was great to hear about one of my favorite lessons, and that it works, so I know it does work. It's one of the most powerful lessons for me, is some of the early lessons, like, you know, making everything meaningless. And the great power, and for me there's such great power in that, because, and the practical way of just looking at something, looking at a plant, the plant is just the same as a high frequency noise, you know, and the high frequency noise is just the same as a table. And as you take out the projected meaning or interest in that phenomenon, it disappears. So there is, through that, well, we were talking about the whole world being illusion. But if, actually, for me, on a certain level, if there's no interest accorded to the ego in any form, no interest in any thought, I mean, there isn't a world. Because time, space, location, the world existing, there has to be a level of interest. Otherwise, for me, it's like, that for me is actually how I perceive it. It's like this world, I'm incarnated in here to transcend it. And I use it like, sometimes some Course in Miracles teachers say everything is an assignment or a lesson. And everything, if I get someone who's annoying to me, obviously my ego is very, very interested. On a very simplistic level, my ego is very, very interested on some level. But then I also know on a deeper level, if I'm willing to let it work on it and let it go, I can take out the interest. If I'm annoyed with the high frequency noise in my home, if I apply principles, I can unhook from that and it disappears. If there's a person, I can unhook from that and it disappears as well.